Hi everybody, George back with another video. Today I'm going to do a contest entry, or a drawing as Steve Carlson's calling it. Being a thank you to the VC. It responded and helped him out when he had the Great Flood, just about a year ago now. I guess it was quite horrific really, you know, seeing a man's record collection is collected over 65 years, going down the river. Can't remember, it was maybe about 10,000 albums and his CDs and books and everything it went. So well, the VC responded and sent Steve a lot of music to get him back playing again. I'm sure Steve thought it was a great, once he got over the grief of it, it was a great time to start a new collection really. Nice, fresh. Got rid of a lot of his old albums he never played anyway. And then what does the VC do? We send him a load of our old crap. So Steve, if you want, get that crap down to your local record shop and trade it in for some good stuff. So Steve wants you to show, I think I watched this video about 3 weeks ago, you put up, I think it was 4 people that influenced you in music or put you down a genre. Check Steve's video out and make your video and get in. So 4 people or 4 VC members, can't really remember. Quite a hard one to do because you pick up things, different things from here, there and wherever, unless you've got a big brother or whatever might guide you along the way. Most of us are just free spirits and we buy what we hear on the radio or whatever until a certain point. And really one of my great big heroes was when I was young, and I was influenced easily, was my favourite band at the time was Bebop Deluxe, and Bill Nelson being their main man. Once his contract finished with EMI Harvest, he went on his own. I think he was with Mercury Records probably. Bill Nelson, and this is one of Bill Nelson's albums. His last album actually recorded with a proper band. It's called Getting the Holy Ghost Across. It was 1986, I think, which really doesn't matter anyway. So Bill Nelson was a big influence on me, and when he then started up his own fanzine and fan club, and once a month you would get, or maybe once every 3 months, I can't remember, you would get a magazine and an EP exclusively recorded. But in his fanzine he would recommend films, music and different stuff that he liked. And being a devotee of Bill, I just collected everything and anything he said, which was fantastic. So these plates behind me, you can see they were plates drawn by the French artist Jean Cocteau. So I eventually visited Jean Cocteau, lived, although he's from Paris, he'd done a lot of his work down in the Nice area, south of France, at Villefranche-Saint-Marc. And he painted a church there and he'd done a lot of work. There's a museum down south of France too. So anything that Bill had to have. So Bill influenced me in a lot of music, and Bill, by then, 1986, and before that, I was getting into a lot of ambient style music, instrumental, and I was a fan of Brian Eno anyway. But this is Harold Budd, a New Yorker who sadly died a couple of years ago. And Bill eventually went on to do some work with Harold Budd. I think they're maybe involved in one CD, done some live stuff. Harold Budd, and I think another New Yorker, John Hassell. This is Dream Theory in Malaya. Fantastic ambient trumper who went on to work with David Sylvian and got me in all that style of music. So I've got a lot to thank Bill Nelson for introducing me to probably music I may never have picked up, or I would have eventually. But so Bill Nelson was a big influencer in me and my music, film and arts. So that's one. Two, round about the same time or whenever, I worked with a musician, and the guy's name was Alan McDowell. Still a musician, Alan, though he only at this point has recorded one single, and it's So You Think You're a Cowboy. And that's Alan there. Alan McDowell. He's got an album underway now eventually. This is from 1983, 4 or something. So I worked with Alan for years, and Alan was such a great influence on music because I was stuck in my 80s or stuff I came through the 70s with, and he got me into everybody really. White Stripes, Bob Dylan, Rolling Stones, Johnny Cash. But Alan really opened my mind up to country music, which at the time I thought was a load of rubbish. So Dwight yoakam became my favourite country artist. And this is Buenas Noches from a Lonely Room. Just a fantastic musician, Dwight. He was a punk rocker of the Nashville scene, really. Don't think they like taking to Dwight too much. Again, it really opened my mind up musically to country music. Dwight went on to appear in quite a few films. Great musician. It's Dwight yoakam in country music. Now, I'll mention one VCR, and it was one I watched early on. So when I was looking for jazz music and whatever, I suppose that's why I investigated the VC more folk who were I could get some knowledge from jazz. And James Buttery done all that, and he done all genres, James Buttery, but the one another genre of music I wasn't into at the time really, I thought it was for long-haired hippies really, was folk music and Bert jansch. And this is just a fairly recent, Just a Simple Soul. It's a double album compilation, compiled with by Bernard Butler. Bert jansch lived 5 minutes from my house, although he was probably gone by the time I was born in the area. Sure, Bert would have been down London doing his thing and on the Scottish scene. So I never knew that Bert lived so close to me or did live in the area once I started investigating. And the music, folk music. I mean, Bert was obviously a great lover of blues music, and I love blues music. And you can hear it in his early stuff, especially the blues picking. And Bert jansch went on to be in the band Pentangle, and I love him. I've got most of these stuff now. There's a few missing things I will pick up eventually. Eventually, if there's enough time in the day or money. A few albums I still want to Bert jansch. So that was a great introduction again to folk music, and I've been buying a lot of other folk music, and I want to get more Bert jansch and folk music. The last, at least I was trying to think, there's nobody really, there's other folk that got me into really trendy indie music and whatever, but one of the biggest influencers and a person that's bought me a lot of music in my town is my ex-girlfriend Glynis, and she was just fantastic, because I'd always go down a road for my music that I think I want, and things would pop up, and she would always get me records for my birthday, or like any other partner birthday or Christmas, and she had a great memory, and it was always fascinating that these times she would buy me music I wanted. I said, oh, I must get that album, and never get round to actually buying it, because I'm sort of stuck in. And this was one of the albums by Natalie Merchant, who's actually playing in the background here. Natalie Merchant was from 10,000 Maniacs, and fantastic album. This is a rework here album, Tiger Lily, which was done originally in 1995. Just a solo album she done on her own. So 20 years later, she wanted to make a documentary and just cover the whole album. So she redone it with some musicians, and that's what was playing in the background, which is finished. Better watch my stylus. So beautiful album, Natalie Merchant. Thank you, Glynis, for buying me lots of great music. So Steve, there's my entry. It's a pleasure knowing you, mate. Catch you around. Bye then.